What is up, YouTube? This is Joe from Zephyrwargames, and I'm bringing to you guys my take on an aggressive style for Tyrantkabuterimon. So this is an idea that I initially had on myself for my mate Chris's deck when he was trying to play bugs for our store regionals. And then I saw it pop up again, but on Twitter, because I refuse to call it X. And I was just like, yes! Someone else is thinking of this as well for Tyrant. And it's really fun. It's a really fun take. I'll show you the combo at the end, which allows you to be hyper aggressive with Tyrantkabuterimon in a way that it hasn't been able to do before. Could this be the way that Tyrant plays in the future? Maybe. It depends on your own personal style and probably what the meta is around Tyrant as itself. But yeah, so before I get into this profile, if you enjoy, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification box if you enjoy a person's content here on YouTube. You don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All of the support is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into Tyrantkabuterimon. I really enjoy this deck. I really enjoy the big bug style. I think it's really cool. It's very fun to play. So let's get into it with 4 copies of Digimon to start us off. End of your turn, if you are a bug, you may attack an opponent's Digimon. Nice and easy, nice and self-explanatory, and it's part of a combo at the end. Next, we're going into the level 3s for the main searcher of the deck, being 4 copies of Kabuterimon. On play, you reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, and you can add an Insectoid to your trait to your hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. All turns with this card is suspended. Gain 1000 DP as an inherent. This is your main searcher. You can play Tentomon if you want to as well, especially if you are also playing more of the Nature Spirits package. But I just gone for Kabuterimon. It's just nice. It's just nice consistency, just a nice form of DP buff as well as an inherent. He ticks all the boxes. Next, we are playing 4 copies of Tentomon from BT15. Started main by suspending one Digimon. One of your Digimon with the Insectoid trait gains an extra 3000 DP for the turn. And all turns, if this Digimon deletes a Digimon in the battle, you gain 1 additional memory. Nice for memory gain and steal on your opponent's turn. And it's a nice way to get DP buff if you're starting off from the raising area, pushing out Tentomon. Or maybe if you scramble this card back as well, you've got potential there. The last of the rookie, we are playing 4 copies of Tentomon from ST20. Opponent's turn. Your opponent can't reduce Digievolution costs. So it's a nice one with follow game. But the main reason utilizing this is in the fact that is also an Insectoid and an Adventure trait. So that Adventure trait will become quite important later on in the combo that we'll see later. For the level 4s, we're playing 4 copies of Blade Kawagamon. This is also an Insectoid trait Digimon, being a machine. He has an on-play and when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets plus 3000. One of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP to the end of your opponent's turn, and inherent all turns plus 1000 DP if you are suspended. So a nice one DP buff there. Can get really big if you're playing this off your Tyrantkabuterimon, or if you're just playing this for 4 costs as well. This is a nice cheap play cost as well. Very handy. Really do like Blade Kawagamon deck. As we are needing the Adventure trait, we are also playing 4 copies of Kabuterimon from the Adventure started at 20 ST20. You're never going to be using the when Digivolving trait as we do not play Tamer, so we're just going to skip that. But it has an inherent of piercing. So a nice form of aggressive effect there as an inherent. And we're playing 1 copy of Promo Kawagamon. You don't have to play Promo Kawagamon if you can't get your hands on him. I know he's still pretty up there in price. If you don't want to play Promo Kawagamon, I'll just swap in for 1 copy of Stingmon from BT3. Both of those are pretty handy. Both of these have good, nice, strong effects, as well as Stingmon just being a nice 1-cost Evo. But I own a Kawagamon, so I'm playing the Kawagamon, which is on play when Digivolving. One of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers can't unsuspend to the end of their turn and inherent plus 2k on your turn. So nice way to get big. Nice, another cheap play cost champion as well, and the ability to stun by again. If you don't own him, just play Stingmon or any Insectoid level 4 of your choosing. Moving into the 5s, even though I am more of an aggressive style deck in this build, I still want to have the control in there. So we are still playing 4 copies of the Metal Life Kawagamon. On play when Digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon and then one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP until the end of the opponent's turn. The inherent is essentially our Izzy Tamer, which is on our opponent's turn when opponent's Digimon attacks. You may change the attack target to one of your Insectoid Digimon. It's a nice way to make your Tyrant a big, massive blocker without the need for the blocker trait. And then we're playing 4 copies of Mega Kabuterimon from ST20. This card is absolutely amazing for the deck, and I really do like him in the deck, and I like that you can essentially make a whole play style and build centered around the aggressive plays for bugs. So there's an on-play, and when digivolving one of your Digimon unsuspends, then for every 2 colors tamers your tamers have, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. We are only playing green tamers in deck, so we are not going to get that suspending of an opponent's Digimon, but we are still going to get the unsuspend no matter what, which is absolutely fantastic. And then your turn, when one of your Digimon are played or digivolve, if any of them are the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains blocker, gains alliance, and then one of your Digimon may attack. And inherent is just native alliance as well. So that will get to very important later within our combo, which you'll see in a bit. Moving on to the Megazord, we are playing 4 copies of the big brand himself, Tyrantkabuterimon. Cost 6 to evolve on any level 5 green, but can evolve for a cost of 2 on a level 6 Insectoid trait Digimon with a play cost of 13 or less. So you just can't keep going Tyrant. So when digivolving, you may play 1 Digimon with the Insectoid trait or Lava trait from your hand with a play cost reduced by 8 all turns. When this Digimon is suspended, it isn't affected by opponent's Digimon's effects. And at the end of your turn, once per turn, by suspending one of your other Digimon, return one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as that Digimon to the bottom of their deck. Very, very strong boss monster, you know, just essentially made bugs a thing just by himself, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, barring the days of Grandis anymore. So time brought bugs back into the fray, and we really enjoy I really do enjoy playing it. For our supplementary big bug level 6s, we are playing 2 copies of Quagamon Grand Ace. Yeah, all the words mixed up. The Grand Quagamon Ace. So this is my form of tamer hate in the deck that I just really like to have in the deck as an option. It can obviously blast digivolve, and on play and when digivolving, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or tamers. Cast this effect suspends cannot unsuspend on your opponent's unsuspend phase. Then you can delete one of their suspended tamers. Your turn, when this Digimon becomes suspends, you can give one of your Digimon sec +1 for the turn. Great form of aggression as well. You know, we are an aggressive deck, but we are also utilizing him for tamer interruptions and disruptions. For my control ace, we are playing 2 copies of Shiva Ace. Again, we can blast counter this Digimon. And on play, when digivolving, if you have 3 or more security cards, suspend one of my opponent's Digimon. And one of your Digimon gains plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. If you have 3 or fewer, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. All turns, while this Digimon is suspended, it isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon's effects. So it's another form of having a big, strong blocker on your opponent's turn with your inherents and with your tamer, just being able to be a big, sticky body that your opponent can't remove. It can get rid of your opponent's Digimon, which is very great. And it can get big as well, depending on where your security is. Obviously, if you have 3 security exactly, you're going to gain both of the effects, which is absolutely fantastic. If you don't want to play that Shivamon Ace as another form of an ace counter, and you still want a bit more control, you can go with copies of the old Shivamon. I might actually make that change later on, just as a form of having your opponent's really reducing what your opponent can do with your board, allowing to have this suspended, and now your opponent can't actually use option cards as well, so it can't affect you with your Digimon, and they can't affect you with your options. It was just a nice classic way of having a big wall on the field, and so I might make that change at least for like maybe a 1-1. For my last Mega, we are playing 1 copy of Ancient Beatamon. You're probably thinking, Joe, why are you playing a Digimon that is a black and yellow? You don't play black and yellows. This card can evolve on Insectoid trait for 3 memory though, which is absolutely great. I really like that they put that on this Digimon. They didn't have to at all. I don't think any of the other ancients from this set have that ability, but they really wanted to make this one a little bit more useful, so it allowed us to evolve on Insectoids. So it has an on-play and when digivolving effect of de-digivolve two of your opponent's Digimon. So I'm utilizing this mainly as a way from Tyrant to play this card out for a little bit cheaper and just de-digivolve two of my opponent's Digimon. Just a nice form of soft removal there. And I really do like having it as a tech in the deck. But all turns, while this when this Digimon would leave the battle area, you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon card with Insectoid or Hybrid trait from this Digimon's evolution class without paying the cost. And it has a digital cost requirement, is also treated as having an Insectoid trait, so you can utilize this with all of your effects. I really do like that. You can also just spawn any level 4 Insectoid, again just really upping the playability of this card. Moving on to the Tamers. Sorry, still recovering for hay fever and cold. We are playing 3 copies of Izzy, Mem Setter, and allowing us to change and attack targets to one of our suspended Insectoids by just suspending this Digimon. Great form of defense. But for our main tamer of offense, we are playing 2 copies of Shoto Kazuma from ST18. So it's also a Mem Setter, but it has the effect of when one of your Digimon attacks an opponent's Digimon, by suspending this tamer, you may change the attack target to another of my opponent's Digimon or the player. So allowing us to combo with the egg, which allows us to force an attack into a Digimon, you can then rest this tamer and actually then make that a direct hit as well at the opponent's security. So a nice form of attack target changing there and allowing us to just be really aggressive at our opponent's security while being limited to where we can actually declare our attacks. Moving to our options, this is all consistency options, which is playing 4 copies of Agility Training to see any green in our deck. 2 copies of Green Memory Boost to again see any green Digimon in our deck while also just being free memory. And then one copy of the Green Scramble, reduce our evolution costs, as well as just spawning a bug if our board gets wiped. So that's it for the deck profile. I'm going to quickly move all this away and quickly show you guys the main combo of the deck as to why the deck is built like this, and maybe how you can utilize this in your own Insectoid decks. So we'll get back in a minute. And we're back with the combo. So as you can see, we just have a bare bones stack here of just our Mega Kabuterimon from ST20. We got our piercing inherent, we got our DP buff inherent, we got our egg, we got our defensive tamer here, and we got our offensive tamer here. The defensive tamer isn't needed for the combo at all, so you can literally just make sure that this, like, if you don't, not make sure, you obviously want it. But if this isn't here, it isn't part of the combo, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Our main tamer focus is obviously the Shoto, as this is going to allow us to be a bit more aggressive at our opponent's security. We have our opponent's security here at 5 security, just so you can show from the bare maximum what your opponent has and how much damage you can do. So we have our Mega Kabuterimon here, we have our Mem Setter in place, and we are going to start our turn with free memory at the minimum, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're just going to on-play here our Tentamon from ST20. Since we did play an Adventure Trait Digimon, our Mega Kabuterimon is going to give one of our Digimon Alliance and then can attack straight away. We are just going to give it to himself here. So we're going to just do a quick 2 checks here at 17, 11 at 10, 11k straight off at the bat with 2 checks here. So our opponent's going to have 2 security down, which is absolutely fantastic. From here, we're just going to simply just Digivolve straight into our Tyrantkabuterimon for a cost of 6, allowing us to, when Digivolving, play a Digimon card from our hand. So we're going to just play out in another Insectoid for cost reduction of 8. So we're just going to play another copy of Mega Kabuterimon here. Mega Kabuterimon is going to on-play allow one of our Digimon to unsuspend. So we're not be able to suspend anything off the Mega Kabuterimon, unfortunately, because again, we only have green tamers. But we're going to be able to unsuspend our Tyrantkabuterimon here. From here, we're going to utilize our egg here, which is at end of turn, this Digimon with the Insectoid trait may and attack an opponent's Digimon. So we're going to go and declare our attack with our Mega Tyrantkabuterimon here. We're going to suspend the Mega Kabuterimon for Alliance, because we have the Alliance natively still on our Mega Kabuterimon. We still have it gained from the Mega Kabuterimon before, but at bare bones, we still just have it natively from our inherent. So if we did have another Digimon in play, we could also suspend another Digimon. But again, I just want to show you guys from just literally one stack and an on-play Tentomon how much damage we can do here. Because we are declaring attack at a Digimon because of our egg, we are going to suspend the Shoto here. In case we didn't have the piercing inherent, we can suspend the Shoto, redirect our attack target from a Digimon to our player. So we're now going to do another 2 checks here with our alliance check. If we had the ability from potential other level 5s to trash an opponent's security if a Digimon is deleted, you can do that as well. But bare bones, this is what we're going to be having. Our Tyrantkabuterimon also then start at end of turn. Can just suspend one of our Digimon if we had another one in play to bot deck one of our opponent's Digimon. But this is just what we have here. A nice simple stack of from just a Mega Kabuterimon and an on-play Tentomon allows us to do 4 security checks and still have a big beefy bug here to be defensive with. If we have like an Izzy in play, we have a potential ace target here in the forms of a Mega Kabuterimon. And really, if you wanted to, you could have like other options in the deck. If you wanted to not on-play a Tentomon, if you wanted to on-play like maybe a Kabuterimon from the adventure deck, you could then have a potential level 5 ace target if you want to take those in your deck as well. But yes, this is the main combo just to show you guys what a single stack can do in a more aggressive form of a Tyrant base. You can do a nice quick 4 checks and a potential piercing check as well to get rid of an opponent's body. You know, all the options there. You can still be very strong defensive. So it all literally depends on what you have at your disposal. But guys, that's the deck profile. That is the quick combo at the end to show you guys what this deck can do. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you know, I hope this inspires to your own potential bug decks. You know, maybe you can put this as a little spicy engine in your own, as opposed to what this build is, which is a more focused, fixed focus sensation point for the deck. I'm just throwing words out there, I swear, half the time. my dyslexia is super strong. But guys, hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments down below what you think of this and what you're doing with your own bug decks. Like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, as always, stay safe. And of course, happy dueling.